Hello, Assalamualaikum. Sorry for the delay. I just came back from work, so it might take a while. Okay. So how is everybody today? I forgot to unmute myself. Okay. Where was I? Hah?
Ada lagi?
Ada sikit.
Bila hujan ada lagi?
Bila hujan lebat.
Ada lagi?
Mm-mm.
Banyak ke sikit?
Sikit. Tapi hari tu masa abang balik tu dia penuh. Ha. Okay, where was I? Okay. Assalamualaikum. Sorry for the delay. I just came back from work. Okay. So it took some time for me to prepare. Oh yeah. Okay. So how's everybody today?
Good, good.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Okay, let me just show my screen. I've also already live streamed it on YouTube. Let me just share you the link. Okay. Just give me a moment. Where should I change? Okay, let me share this. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure if I can share my screen. Let's see. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so today we are going to learn about Python as an introduction. So that's basically the topic for today. Okay, so let me just make it bigger. I think I should start with this PyCharm immediately. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that everyone here have been learning about programming before. So have you learned about C++ or
Yes.
C during your CFS? Oh, I'm not sure because I'm not the current course outline or current syllabus of CFS and degree. I'm not sure for now, but I'm pretty sure you guys have learned about uh, programming in general. So basically, there's nothing much in difference. So let me just zoom this thing. Where is the view? Alt Shift dot. Okay. So first of all, let's just begin with the output. Okay. So first of all, before anything, I want you to install the latest Python what do you call it? I can't remember what's the name of it. Interpreter. Let me see. Is it interpreter? Yes. I need you to install the latest Python interpreter. How would you like to install it? Is basically let us so Python. Just search Python. You will go to the website and you'll go for the downloads. Okay. So you go. I would recommend you to download the latest one, 3.11. You can go for before for the previous version, but I would suggest you to download the latest one, and as well as after you download the latest Python interpreter, I want you to also download PyCharm. So because this is going to be our IDE, our environment in coding Python, where we can code our program and test them right away. We can run them right away using the interpreter that we have downloaded before. Okay. So just go to the just search PyCharm and go to the download PyCharm and download the latest one, download the community one. We are not going to go for the professionals because we basically we are just learning. So let's just go for community build of PyCharm. Okay. So I'll give you guys some time. Meanwhile, I'm gonna give you guys some time to download all the necessities. Okay. Python and also PyCharm, and probably we are going to also go for GitHub. Okay, I'm not going for this semester. I'm not going to ask you to to go for Catis or other website that they are good for learning coding, but for our syllabus, I might not gonna uh, ask you to use them. Okay, just Python, PyCharm, and GitHub. GitHub is useful for your project later on because basically, let's say everyone is not available, you can assign your code. You can let each of you guys, handle each part of the code, so that you don't have to, all of you don't have to be in one room editing the same code. It can be done online as well. So that's GitHub. Okay. So that's Python, PyCharm, and GitHub. I'm going to explain in details about GitHub at the end of our session. Okay. But for now, we are going to focus on Python and PyCharm in the beginning. Okay. So let's say you have downloaded uh, Python interpreter and also PyCharm, the IDEs for Python programming. So you will be greeted with this interface. The color might be different because it's your first time, but it's pretty much the same. Okay, so you have on the right hand side. Oops, let me just open this. So on the right hand side, you are going to see the direct they will when the PyCharm starts, it will be empty. The project will be empty and nothing will be shown here. But you can't, what you can do is, I'm not sure whether they ask you first or you have to find it yourself, but you can open a new project or start a new project or open a new project by just simply selecting open, like go to the tab, select open, go to the folder that you want to put all your Python programmings and select OK. The moment you select OK, PyCharm is going to take that directory. For example, I chose lesson, so it's under all of this address, and so they are going to take the lesson folder, and it will show all your files and folders inside here. So in this sample code, we have got this problem. I'm not going in there for that. Okay, basically this is what I have taught previous class just for their personal practice, but I'm not going to. This one is the lesson. So we have done 4 chapters, at least 4 chapters in our So we have basic Python, which is the introduction. We're going to learn about linked lists and how to implement it in stack and queue. We are also going to learn about hash table, and as well as dictionary, binary tree and traversal, as well as we are going to end with GUI. Okay. So has everyone downloaded Python interpreter as well as PyCharm after I'm blabbering non-stop?
Not yet.
Not yet. The others?
So they should be downloading the PyCharm
Mm-hmm.
2022, right?
Yes, PyCharm 2022. Make sure the make sure they download the latest one and not the outdated one, because if not, some of the syntax or probably some of the algorithms might not work with the older versions of PyCharm, but usually that's not a big problem lah. Okay, so I think we can proceed. So let us begin with the first one. So we have the basic Python. So this is the first folder that I have done before. Probably I might going to create a new one for demonstration purpose. I think it's better for me to create a new one. New, no, not that one. New Python file. Len let's say just say temporary lesson file. Okay, so basically I'm going to erase this file every time, each time there's a new class, because I already have the previous one. Okay, so let's say we have we start a new file. Okay, so we want to start, we begin with commenting. Okay, that the first thing you should do is comment your codes. Okay, you need to tell yourself, the future you or the other programmers, what are you doing, what the heck are you doing with your programming. So this is how you put your code, your comments. So this is how you comment. That's basically it. Okay, okay, basically the same thing. And then we are going to learn how to print. This is basically all the basic stuff, so I'm just gonna put it out. For those who don't know, this is how you print. So print, let's just start with the basic hello world. Hello world, and let us run this current file. Let us run. Let me just go here, and we get hello world. So this is how you print the file. You want to change the string inside, so you can just put hello, I am a Python file, for example. So when you start, you get I am a Python file. So you can change anything inside here. So, but you have to put it inside a double quote, as that is basically the syntax. Okay. Next, we are going to learn about, now we have learned about how to output a file. Now we are going to learn about the variables. Okay. How to, let's say you want to put some data in your variable and you want to output the value of the variable later. So for example, we put A equals 100, B equals 200. Okay. Okay, and then you want to output it. So we print. So let's say you want to print multiple variables in a single line. So what you can do, you can put the first data that you want to send, which is A, 1000, and then you put a comma to separate it. And then you put another variable and you put a comma. And then let's say you want to put another you want to put a string which is not a number. Let's say ECIE 3101, for example. Okay, or the data structure and algorithm. Okay, so when we run this, what will happen? Oh, I forgot the hits. What will happen is that they will output in the order that you give them here. So when you give A, they will output 1000, B 2000, and data structure and algorithm. Notice that here, this is without the double quote, this is with the double quote. Let's say if I were to put double quote here, it would be different. Okay, if I run this, they won't show you the data. They will just show you the character A. Okay, so that's why you need to consider which one you should put double quote, which one you should not put double quote. Okay, This is basically some of the simple things. Now we are going to swap and assign multiple values. So this is some of the good thing about Python is that in other programming you have to swap one by one. You need to have a temporary file. For example, why do I put it here? For example, A equals to, let's say, temporary equals to A, and then B, A equals to B, and then B equals to temporary. So this is how you change the data traditionally with outside Python. So let us see what comes out. Print A, B. So this, I'm just going to clear this for comparison. So when we put enter, they are swapped. So this is the traditional way, conventional way in Python. But in Python has a good thing, a sneaky thing, where we can just immediately interchange them. B, comma A. Basically, you have saved 3 lines of code into one. So let us run this, and you still get the same answer. You can also make it better. So let's say you want to assign more than one. Okay, you want to assign, let's say, another one, which is C. And let's say this C is, I want to put 3000. So I output C, and what do you get? You can get the same thing. 2000 and 1000 meaning they have swapped, and then 3000 meaning we have assigned 3000 to C. So this is how you swap and assign multiple values. Okay, like you can also do 1000, 1000, 2000, and 3000. Although I seldom use this method because it might get confusing. I prefer just do the conventional way because it's more readable. You can know which is assigned to which. Whereas for this, you need to see where does this where does this value assign to. Okay, so that's why. Now we are going to learn how we are going to input. Okay, so here we are going to add another variable, which is D. D equals to input, and let us output the same thing. So output D. Let us just add the input is D. Okay, and let us just add another one. Print input here. Okay, so we start this. You notice that there's a difference here. Usually, just if you notice, previously we have seen that there is a process ended with code 0, process ended with code 0, but this time it does not end because the program is waiting for an input. So now let us give an input. So let us give one, let's say 5000. So what do? They give this, the output that the input is 5000. Okay, let us rerun again. Let's say we want to put DSA, which means data structure and algorithm. If we enter, the input is DSA. So this is a good thing but it might not be useful if you are concerned with what data type is this. So you need to take a look at this. So C equals to input, and this input function assumes that the input is a string. Okay. However, if you notice it, there's another one, which is the integer input, where we change the input into an integer. This is okay. Now this is a bit tricky. So what do? Let's say if I want to put let's say P equals to 1100 plus B. So let us see what will happen. if we just put it like this. Okay, so we run this. 100. If we say press enter, they will give an error because D is not an integer. It is assumed to be a string. So what should we do? We need to float them. We need to change the input into a number. So what do? We put float and we run this again. We put again 200 and we get 300.0. I'm not sure if you want to put int also can, because we have learned about integers and floats, right? We also have, I'm not sure if there's doubles in Python, but basically we have integers and floats. So let's say I want to put integers. Let us try. So 200 and we get 300. So there are two ways. So we can change the string into an integer or even to a float number. So let us just put float. Let's just do this and change this to int input. Okay. Give me a moment. Okay. So we have int e. So let us just say I want to put okay. So that's basically it. See, so far so good. Everyone does everyone understands?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, I understood that.
Okay, good. Now we are going to, so since I've mentioned about float and integers, so we are going, as well as strings, we are going for data types. So there are several data types in Python. Not several, there are a lot of data types in Python. We have Boolean, which you can see there is a yes, which is true, and no, which is false. We also have a string, but they don't have characters. I think characters were treated as a string with a length of 1, I think. Okay, so we have Boolean, we have integers, we have floats, we have what do you call it? We have strings, and inshallah, in chapter 2, the hash table, we are also going to learn about dictionaries, as well as arrays, as well as pointers. So there are many more things that you might need to learn. Okay, so this is the data types. Okay, now I think I don't have to do this. I can just copy and paste and then just run. Now we are going for if and else statements. If, elif, and else statements. Okay, let us return to here. Since we have done this, I'm going to erase everything. And let's say I want to create an input. So let's just put integer input. And we do this for B as well. So let us do our first task. We want to compare whether A is greater than B or B is greater than A or both of them are equal. Okay, so check if check which number is greater than which number is greater or both are the same. Okay, so this is our first task. So how are we going to do this task? So we cannot just input and then we just output. We need the program to process something for us. So we do some if and else as well as elif statements. Okay, So we begin with, so we have input A and B. So let us check if A is greater than B. Okay, we check first, A is greater than B. So what do? We print out, print A is greater than B. Okay, let us just put this print input for A, and we do the other one for input for B. Input for B. Okay, so this is the if statement. So we just run input for A 100, input for B 200. Does it run? Why can't I get A is greater than B? First question. Why?
Because A is not greater than B in
Because
the if condition.
yes, because A is not greater than B. In fact, B is greater than A. So, but I don't know. Let's say I'm the user. I don't know what happened. So, as a programmer, we need to tell, oh, B is actually greater than A. So this time, let us in. So we put else. Else print B is greater than A. So if you do this, 100, 200, so we get B is greater than A. But then, okay, now we come to this one, 100, 150, 150. What happened if we make it the same? Based on this coding, what will happen if we make A and B the same? What output will they give?
The else print output.
The else prints the output. The else will say B is greater than A. Is B greater than A actually? No, right? So there is a flaw. So we need to change again. So what do? We introduce a new keyword called elif, which is basically else if. This is just exclusive for Python. I'm not sure if other programming language have this else if. Okay. So and we already have elif. So we need to add another else. And we put print A is equals to A and B are equal. But then we are not finished. We need to check if B is less than A. Why? Because we have the if here, which means it requires a statement, a condition. So what is the condition? If B is less than A, this is basically the same thing. If B is greater than A, then we say B is greater than A. Okay, so rerun back. So let us put 150, 150, and we get A and B are equal. Okay, so far, does everyone understand this? The
Yes.
if, elif, and else. Okay. So now we are going to go for. I need to tell you a bit more about this. Okay. Another good thing about Python is that you can group the statements together. Okay. For example, let's say if A is greater than B, we want to say A is greater than B, and we want to say yes. And then the next one, for this one, we want to say no. And the last one, we want to say maybe. Okay, we can group them together like this. So when we run this, let's try input for A, 100, 200. So it shows that B is greater than A, and they show no. If we put 2000 or 100, we get A is greater than B, and yes. If we make them the same, 0, 0, we get A and B are equal, as well as the print statement maybe. Okay, now there is an issue here. There is there is a condition or caveat here, where you can group them together if all of them are on the same indent level. I would say indent level. Okay, so for example, here we have print here. All of them are on the same level. Okay, they are on indent level 0. I don't press any tab here. However, here you notice that this is different than this, because this is on the first tab. I press tab, and it's on the first indent level. Okay, in Python, semicolon is not important. However, indentation or spacing is important. You need to take note of this. Okay, so let's just say I forgot about that, and let's say I forgot to indent this. If I were to run this, okay, we will get syntax error, because the else does not have any if before that, because previously when we put it like this is continuous. If goes to elif goes to else, but when we clear the indent, we can only start with if and elif, and then the next one is print number. So print number already breaks the flow between if, elif, as well as else. So you need to take note about that. Okay, so far so good. Everyone understand about the indentation as well as the if else statement?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Good. Now we are going for the next one, operators. Okay, so we have learned about if and else statements. Now we are going for operators. So basically, this is I'm just going to copy this and put it here. So this is going to be cleared. Okay. So the first one is the syntax for addition, 13 plus 2. Okay, so when we run this, it is expected that we're going to add 13 plus 2, which becomes 15. Okay, the second one is also the same. This is basically subtraction. 13 minus 2 is 11. Multiplication, 13 times 2 is 26. Division. Okay, division, from here it starts a bit different. Okay, we have a division, we have modulus, and we have floor division. 3 of these comes from the same thing, but outputs a different answer. Division relates to dividing. Modulus is also relates to dividing, but floor division also relates to dividing. What does makes them different? What is the difference between 13 slash 2, 13% 2, and 13 double slash 2? What output are we expecting here? So let's begin with the easy one. Division. 13 divided by 2. What do you get? This is just a regular division. So
6.5.
6.5. Yes, you are correct. So 6.5. So 13 divided by 2 is just a regular division, or we can call it a fraction, not fractional, uh, float division. You can also call it as float division, where we treat 13 as float and we divide it by 2. 13 modulo 2, however, is a bit different. 13 modulo 2 gives the remainder after 13 is divided by 2, meaning that we are not dealing with decimals. We are dealing with integer numbers. Okay, so 13 divided by 2 gives a remainder of 1. Okay, and then floor division is basically 13 divided by 2 is 6.5. They said 6 is 6, and we ignore the 0.5 at the end. Basically, it divides the 13. We divide 13 with 2, and we use the floor function. We ignore the fractional part, so we get the answer. We get the output to be 6 instead. Okay. Let's just say I want to put this, and then finally exponential. Basically, we raise the power for learn Python for machine learning. 13 to the power of 2. So 13 times 2. So at 13 times 13 twice. So we get 13 times 13 is 169. Okay. So so everyone understand about this? And let's say I also stream this on YouTube. So if anyone on YouTube have question as well, also can ask. Okay. So data science student learn Python for machine learning. No. This is not Python for machine learning. This is just Python for data structure only. We are not going in depth for machine learning. That Python is begitu dan Java.
Brother,
Yes.
what is your YouTube?
My YouTube, actually I use my YouTube for gaming purposes, but I just stream my YouTube is Cetano, CETANNO. I think I give the link to Madam Rashidah, the link to the video. Okay, let me just give me a moment. Let me just share the link. This is copy, and I'm gonna put it here. Okay. For those who want to, this is basically the first educational video I've done on my YouTube channel lah. Okay, back to the topic. Okay, so let us run this. So okay, just because we are not using A and B, so let's just ignore this. So we get the answer to be the same as we expected. So 15, 11, 26, 6.5, 1, 169, and 6 as our floor division. Okay, so you might want to do A and B from here. There's nothing wrong with that. And you can test them out one by one. So A and B. So let's say I want to put 100, 1000, and let's say I want to put 3 or maybe 7. 7 is too much. 3. So what I will get is this. So 1003, 997, 3000, 3.33333, which is the float division. We have the modulus, we have the exponential, and we have the floor division. Okay. Okay. So has everyone understand about the operators for now? Before we proceed.
Yes.
Okay. Let us go for loop. while loop. Okay, for for loop, basically for loop is usually used for numbers. Okay, so how do we do it? So let's change this. Let's just put E. We keep the B. Keep the B. So we put for I in range. So A. What does it means that as this is equivalent to for I equals to 0, I less than A, I plus plus. So I goes from 0 until A, but it does not touch A. It just stops at A minus 1. So let me show you. Print I. Okay. So when we run this, we get, okay, let's say I put 5, and for B I just put 3. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it does not stops at 5 because it already begin with 1. Like that. Okay. So this is the one. Okay. Let's say we don't want the for loop to start at 0. We want for loop to start at a certain number to a certain number. So what do? We can introduce another one, which is B. Okay. So let me do this. With a condition of B is greater than A. I'm not sure if you can put B is lesser than A, but we can try. So let us put normally. So A is 2, B is 10. What would you expect to be the output? The I will be how will the I be printed in the loops? It will go from what to what? What range will the I print out? Okay.
Is it 2 to 10?
Any other answer? 2 to 10, we have 1. Others?
2 to 9?
2 to 9. Okay, we have 2 to 10, and another brother said 2 to 9. Where are the sisters? I didn't hear any answers from the sisters. And anyone wants to try? Any sisters wants to try? No one. Okay. So one brother said 2 to 10, one brother said 2 to 9. So let us run this. So when I press enter, they will run from 2 to 9. Because I will loops starting from 2, so it touches 2. It goes to 3, 4, 5, 6 until 10, but it does not reach 10. It just stops at 9. So it goes from 2 to 9. That's the answer. Okay, so this is the for loop. For loop. So now we're going to learn about I think we can expand this a bit more. Okay, let us expand this a bit more. Okay, so this loop has been repeated, has output of comma I. We can also do it like this because I is just a variable. It is treated as a variable. It's just that it can increase one by one. That's all. So when we run this, we get input. Let's say we input for A 10, input for B 20. So it shows this. This loop has output of 10, 11 until 19. We can also do it like that. Okay. And same with the if else statement, we can put another one. We can just put another print statement, or we can put another operator in here. So print I plus A, for example. I plus A. So we get like this. So 2, 5, and we get this. So 2, and then we have 4, because why? I is currently 2, and it is added 2. So 2 plus 2 is 4. 3, and then the next loop, I is 3, but A is still 2 because it does not change. So 3 plus 2 equals to 5. Like that. Okay. So it's basically on your creativity or based on what program are you going to do. Okay. Now we are going for while loop. While loop is a bit different because you can personalize what condition do you want it to run. Okay. For example, let us do it like this. While A is greater than B. Okay. So we want to tell the user that as long as they give A is greater than B, we don't want that. We want B to be at least equal or lesser than A, greater than A. So what do? Print, and we do it like this. Print A is greater than B. So now and then we ask them to input it. So we input again. So input for A, input for B. Okay. So as long as A is greater than B, they will input again and again and again until the condition is broken. Okay. So finally, A is not greater than B. Okay. So let us run this. So we put 10 and we put 2. They said A is greater than B. So they don't want that. We said our program does not want that. So they ask again for another input. So we put 10, 3. It is still greater than. So let's say we put 6, 5. It is still greater than B. And then finally, when we put them the same, they will go out from the loop. So as long as you give as long as the condition is satisfied, the loop will go on forever and ever, and will not break. So use this while loop wisely. Okay. So everyone understand about the for loops and the while loop?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because we have 2 more before uh before we do some practice or we end our class. I don't know. Okay, so now we are going for functions. Okay, function is basically the same in every other problems, every other, what do you call it, programming language. It's just that how do we interpret it is a bit different. Okay, so now what do we do? Let us say we want to do this. So let's say we have a code that is repeated so many times that you are just annoyed that you have to copy it every time you want to do that. Every time you need to do something. So for example, you need a code that does plus. Okay. For example, you don't want the code to add them together. This is basically the simple example. So you just want to add 2 numbers together, but you want them to be put in a function. So what do? You define that function first. So we put define add 2 numbers, and we put E and B. I think I should start with the one without the parameters. Okay, let's say you want to create a function that is basically, for example, that will ask user, are you sure you want to proceed? So because usually in the every time you want to do some transactions or you want to do some important decisions in the software, in the certain software, that software must ask you, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to do this? You as the developer, you need that wants to make sure that your user is not tricked or anything. You need to make sure, you need to put some window that tells them, are you sure about this? And it's not once, it is many times across your code, meaning that it is not, it not only exists in one place, it exists in other place. So let us do that. So define uh, prompt sure, because we are asking them, are you sure about this, right? So prompt sure, so we put print, are you sure about this? Okay, like that. And then what do you do? Let's say uh, let's say we want to do this. Okay, we remember that just now we put the input for A, input for B in the while loop, right? Okay, let us just is it this one? Okay, good. Okay, so we define get input, and we do this like this. So it exists in two places, right? You see that this exists here and exists here. So what do? You create a function for them. So okay, you have defined your function. Okay, function get input, I want you to ask the user for 2 inputs. Okay, and then we call them before the start of the loop. So get input, so we put get input, and then we do it again here, get input as well. So now your code has reduced a bit. You might not see, but it has reduced a bit. Although it's not significant because we are just dealing with 16 lines of code. But imagine you are going to ask your user for the same thing across your code, and it exists like almost more than 5 or 6 times. Are you going to copy the whole code and make it so lengthy? No. We are going to define a function that handles them. Okay, so let us run this thing again. So input for A, so it runs the same thing because it is being called. Input for A 100, input for B 20. I forgot about the A and B. A equals to, I'm not sure if this A is global or local. Let's say A equals to 0, B equals to 0. Let's just see. So 10, 20, 5. So finally A is not greater than B. Oh, this is not local. I see. I see. Let's just say get input, we change it to this. Return int input. So we do this. Like this. Like this. Get input. And I think, okay, yep. They should be before we call them. Okay, so we define the get input and we call them. Okay, this is the syntax for defining. This is the syntax for calling them. Okay. And this function has a return value. This function has a return value because there's a keyword return. Okay, some functions does not have return value. You just print them. Okay, so but this one they have. So we input this 120. A is greater than B. 230 still greater than B. 100, 200. A is not greater than B now, like that. Okay. Okay, so this is function with return output. How about function with inputs or input parameters? Okay, for functions that have input parameters, we just put the parameter inside the function. So a, let's say a comma b. Okay, or x y. X y. And now we don't want them to return. We just want them to print out the values. So x comma y. Apa output xy. Okay, so now what do we do? Input y, input, so we output a and b. Okay, this is one more thing. When we define the function, we declared and we give the parameter. We need whatever we put inside this parenthesis is basically what we want to declare the variable that holds the parameter. Okay, for example, we are going to give a and b. Okay, output in bracket a and b. We need some variable to accept that parameter. So we have x and y. So from here we can see, oh, x gets the data from a and y gets the data from b. Okay, so when we output them, oops, a, and we have, oh, I forgot, the b one is not a, b, a. So we get the data from a and the data from b, like that. But let's say you don't want to give all the parameters. You only want to give some parameters, but with the parameter that they have, you want them to still work functionally, meaning that you don't want to give all the don't want to give all the data. You want them to use a default value for certain data. So for example, let's say y, I want to put y equals to 0. So by default, y is 0. Okay, so what happened here? Output a comma b and output a only. The moment when I run this, what will happen? For the first output, what will comes out? Let's say I'm going to give an input for a is 50 and input for b is 20. The first, what output will I get for line when I run this code? Is 50, input is 20.
50.
And then a 0.
50 and then a 0. Any other answers?
So 500.
500. Okay, 500. Are there any 500 only? Okay, some say 50 and then 0. Some say 500. Others? Any other answers? Possible answers?
May I know that everybody is like hands on, right? Otherwise, you cannot just do the guesswork. Everybody is hands on, right? Everybody have everything installed, PyCharm and Python installed, right? Yeah, because if you have issues, if you have not installed or you are not following, then that will not be very good. Is one Fazri,
Yes, madam.
you install, right?
Yes, I'm following.
Okay, good. Murni,
Yes,
are you following?
yes.
Mm.
Okay, all right, good. So good to go, Aziman. We can go on.
Okay, good. So uh since this is a hands-on, pretty sure you need to know what answer you will get when you run this. Okay? So some said 50 and 0, some said 500. So others, which one? Is it 50 and 0 or 500?
50 and 0.
50 and 0. So when we run this, okay, let's see, I'm going to put 50 and I'm going to put 20. We are going to get 50 and 0. Okay? Everyone understand? Understood?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so okay, now there's another one. Okay, let's say I don't want to give anything. I think you have seen the answer, but let us just test out. What happened if I did not give anything to the input? I already give y a default value. I did not give x a default value, and in the output I did not give any data at all. What will happen and why? What will happen and
Probably
why?
an error
They will give an error. Why?
because the print output doesn't have any X value.
Because the output does not have any x value. Others? Do you have any answer? Mm. Any answers are welcome.
No error.
No error. If no
Just
error, what is the output?
no output for X, but just a zero output for Y. Maybe.
Okay, no output for x and zero output, and the output is 0 for y. Okay, sister, where is the sister?
Let me call their names so that they will be there.
Mm.
Irdina is here, right? Yeah. Sorry. Yes, Irdina. Irdina Nazifa.
Yes, madam.
Yes. What's your own answer?
I think it's an error.
You think it's an error?
Why?
Nazifa?
Ah,
Um, Y0.
because y is 0. Okay. Okay, Nazifa, let me see. Nazifa, what's the answer?
What about Zarina? Zarina, are you there? You have to be online, you have to be available. If you're not available, it's as good as you go out. Then we know that you're not there. If you're online, then the name will be called to clear why we are calling names or why we are asking is just to know that you're following. Otherwise, it's of no use to be online and you're offline at the same time. Zarina, she's not there, right?
Mm-mm.
Can I say something? Azim, the class rep.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Azim, can you take our attendance, please?
Okay then.
All right, thank you.
So I just do
Yeah, you
forms
can do
or
screenshot. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, Okay, Azima, we can go on.
Okay, good. So basically what will happen is it will return an error because wait, is this running? 50, 20. It will return an error because they said output is missing one required positional argument x. Basically x is required and does not have a default value, and we did not give anything for the x to show. So it will return an error. Like that. Okay? So I think we have reached the end of our chapters. So let us try to do one problem. Can we?
Sure, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So I'm not sure if this is basic. This is
Also, Azima, can you make the font to be a little bit bigger so that they will see it better?
Okay. Is this enough? 39? 39, 40, I think 40. Okay. So, for practice, implement a program that calculates. I think I have give you. Do it a second. Oh, I have cleared them. Okay. I thought they are still there. Where is that? Okay. That calculates the that ask the user to give that calculates the average of all integer inputs, all numerical inputs, numerical inputs from user. The number of inputs to be calculated must also be prompt. Basically, I want you to create a program that asks the user that first ask the user how many numbers does the program wants to calculate the average, and then the program must ask what is the value of each number. So for example, let's say I want to calculate the average of 3 numbers. So I give 3 numbers to the program. So so I say the program, okay, I want 3 numbers. Okay, the first number should be 10, the second number should be 20, the third number should be 50. For example. Okay? In this is I want to talk a bit about Catis. How does Catis and some of the coding competition works? Usually we have problems where they have their own test case. Okay, so for example, what does this test case mean is that these are the inputs that you are going to give to the program, where you have to test them using the given inputs, and you have to get the required outputs from them. So for example, let's say I want to give an input like this. my input will be 100, and 100 is too much. Let's say 4. I want to give 4 inputs, so the first input will be 10, 20, 30, and 40. This is the first test case. Test case 1. Okay, you need to put this, and I expect you to give an output of 25. So this is the input, which is this. I'm gonna make it a bit smaller. Let me just. Alt Shift comma. Alt Shift comma. Why do they change to Arabic? I'll just do it manually. Okay, so this is the input, and the output should be. Oh, the output should be 25. Okay, I think I should put it in the notepad for you to see better. And for the second one, test case 2, I want you to put this 7, 100, 150, 200, 150, 300, 350, and 400. So you should get the output to be 250. I'll give you how many minutes? How long is this session, madam? I think 10 minutes is enough because I'm not sure if everyone can stay that long. Okay, 10 minutes. If you manage to get these two correct, then basically we're done. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Can I see who have done their coding? Who've managed doing this?
Me, brother.
Okay, good. Okay. Others? This is going to be the last one lah. Before we talk a bit about GitHub. Is everyone okay? Okay, I think that's about it. If you want to practice more, I think I can give you some more. As a homework, let's see what implement a program that concatenates two strings together. This is one, two input string together and output them as one string. The second one should be, let's see, implement a program that program that determines. This one is a challenging one.
So Azima, may I remind them that did you create a GitHub that they are going to submit because it's going to be graded? Any of the assignment we're given?
Oh, I see. Okay, okay.
Yeah. Okay. If today is like not notified, so just let them understand that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just going to be a simple thing, so we can assess them better, inshallah.
Okay, okay. I think I can do that. So, I'll create a GitHub. I'll create a Git. And let me see, how am I going to do this? Which one is this? Is it this one? Okay, I think I should show you this lah. Okay, so I have created a coding lesson here. Okay, where I put all of my stuff here before. I'm not sure whether I have updated them or not, but you can see all of the modules that I have before if you want to search for it, it is just public. When you have done downloading, when you have done downloading the not downloading, creating an account for your for your GitHub, I want you to create a repository. Okay, so for example, how do you want to create a repository? So click this one. Click when you went in, you click the new button here. You create a repository, and I want you to put it as a private, but I want you to invite me as well, so I can see your repository. You can make it public, but I prefer you to put it private and then share the repository, your repository to me. Basic repository is basically your directory but online. So when you create a repository, you're going to give a name of your repository. I would recommend you to put your metric number, put the description. So I know that you are this metric number, you are taking this session, this class for this session, and so on and so forth. The others, nothing much. So let's just say I have created this. When I create my repository, they might prompt you to put your files there. Okay, they might prompt you to put your files there. So when you put your file there, it will be uploaded here. So how do you want to upload it? There is some way. First, you can put add file. So you put add file, you put upload files. So all the files that you have done, you can put it immediately inside here. Okay, you put it here. You put the files here, and you upload it. And if there is a folder that have the same name, it will update the repository. Else, they're going to ask you how are you going to deal with some of the changes. Okay, so let's just say I want to create a temporary file, right? So for example, like this. Let me create a new one, or let me just do this. How should I do this? Okay, let me just create new file, problems.txt. Okay, so practice for chapter 0. Create a program that asks the user for to provide several numbers and calculate the average, output the average of them. Output the average, the total and the average of the numbers. Okay. Second, create a program. Let me see. Create a program that prints out all numbers from 0 to 50 and tell the user if the number is odd or even. That's the second one. The third one, so this implements the loop as well as the if and else function. This one implements the input function, input operators, as well as loops as well. And the third one, create a program that, let me see. What question should I give them? That asks the user to provide two names. Two names. No. I think I should. To provide two numbers as well, two numbers, and output. Okay, this is challenge. This is a bit challenging. Output the highest, greatest common divisor and lowest common multiple of both numbers. These three. Can you do it?
Sorry, what was GCD and LCM?
GCD is greatest common divisor and lowest common multiples. Lowest common multiples. Okay, this is pretty much unrelated with coding, but the algorithm behind might requires you to do some heavy coding. Okay, you need to know what does greatest common divisor is, what is the lowest common multiples. Pretty sure there's a lots of them online. Okay, so you can do that. So just these three. If I have time, I might grade them. I might check whether they works or not. Okay, but for now, this is the three practice. Okay, so this one we have done in class. Average the number. This one prints all numbers from 0 to 50 and tell the user if the number is odd or even. And the third one, create a program that asks the user to provide two numbers and output the greatest common divisor and the lowest common multiples of both numbers. Okay. So, okay, now I'm going to show, have everyone has GitHub already?
I have created one.
Okay, good. I would, for this one, I think it's better for you guys to create your be in your groups, because I'm pretty much have no time to see each one of you each code from all the codes from each of you. So please do in groups, create your own repository, and share the repository with me so that I can see. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to upload this. Upload this uh to ni to GitHub. Okay. So let's say have everyone created their own repository, or have the team leader created the group's repository for practice submission.
How many persons should be in one group?
That one will be on how many, madam? Because this one is not on me to decide. How many groups are there, madam? Madam, I think for this one I can end the recording. Or do you want me to still streaming so that you can know what to do in the stream?
You can continue streaming.
Continue streaming. Okay. How many, madam? In how many groups are there, madam?
Oh, okay. I was muted. Because we have, I told them in the group, max of, I think 4 should be okay in the group, right?
4 in a group. I see. So how?
4 to 5.
Okay.
Except if, let me check for my section altogether. Let me see. We have 17 and okay. Let me just confirm from the list I have.
Okay.
Let me confirm from the list.
Okay. While waiting, let me just show you how to upload your folder. So just go to add file, upload your files, and for me, since I don't have the problem for class folder, so I'll just take this, bring it here, and put it here. Okay, it will upload it for you, and you need to put the commit changes here. Okay, commit changes. Okay, edit problems.txt for practice, for example. Okay, and then you need to decide whether you want to commit direct to the main branch or to the new branch. Okay, if you put commit directly to the main branch, which means you are going to change the core of your repository directly. But let's say you don't want to do that. You want to create a branch of yourself and then merge them later. It also can. Most of the time, people students does not understand and just commit direct to the main branch. It's okay, but there is a risk. There is a risk where your coding does not work, and when you combine with the main project, your project just goes down. Okay, so it is advisable to go for a new branch and then check whether your coding can be merged or not after that. Okay, if you are sure, then you can just commit directly. Okay, but for now, we just commit directly. Okay, we added the problems.txt, we commit changes, and let them and then we added the problem for class. We have this for practice. Okay. I want you for you guys. I want you to create the repository or the team leader create the repository for your group, and I want you to add a README file where inside you need to put group what, section what as title. Okay, when you create the title, you need to, let me just make it bigger. Okay, I want you to put this as the title. You put the hashtag and you put the title, the group number of your group. Okay, so for example, they ignore this, but let's say I want to create a new one, so ignore the above one. So you put this group what number, group 1, for example, group X, section X, probably course code here. This is group number. This is section number. This is your session number, meaning that you guys are semester what, and then how many per session, how many semester, because I don't know what semesters are you, and then session number, and then I want you to put your metric number. All group members are here, so you need to put your name, full name, advisable. But I think just metric. I think metric number is enough. Okay. So let's say if someone does not do their work, you can just erase them or anything, and I can notice lah. But I think if you put just the group number, course code, section number, semester number, and session number, it's already enough. I don't want to know your group members, unless if you want to put as well, just put the metric number. Because pretty much I don't know all of you, so just put your metric number here. So put this, and then you commit changes. Oh, they don't show. Okay, let me just, I think they should be okay. I think because of we already have the title here, so it won't be shown. But if the title is not here, the session number and session number is shown. Let me just edit that first. Okay, just save this. Oops. Just save commit changes. Why are they not shown? I think because of this.
I think for the grouping, Aziman, for the grouping, altogether we have like about 26 students. So minimum is 4, max is 5. So
okay.
max 5. Okay. Yes.
So I think that's good. So after you put your group number, course code, and section number, you put everything here lah. So how to share them with your friend is this. Let me just. So after you upload your files and after you do anything, you go to settings. You go to the collaborators. Since this is public, I don't have to everyone can see it, but if you're going to put a private and you want only your groups and me to see, go to settings, go to collaborators, and you put add people, and you need to add their username respectively. Their username will be shown here. Okay, so for example, I'm not sure who I'm going to add. For example, I'll give you my my account. So my my username is Cetano, CETANNO. Okay, CETANNO. Try to search for them. You should see this logo here. Okay.
Add people dekat collaborators ni.
Yes, add people, add the collaborators.
I see.
So I can see that. I can see your coding. So you can see the lessons that I have provided, which is what you will do and what we have done today and what you will do in the future. Okay, for you to practice and also learn before we start the class. Okay. Are there any questions? I think I'm not prepared because I just came back from work. So I'm sorry if there's anything that I missed or it feels a bit rush. Okay. Are there any questions before we end our class?
I think it's pretty okay on the line for this. It's kind of a sharing section for, and to introduce all of them to Python before we go into the implementation of all those algorithm and data structure that we're going to, be learning in the class. So if there is any question, you guys can ask. Especially, please make sure you create your what you call your GitHub. And Azim is there. Azim, the class rep.
Yes, I am here.
Okay, so Azim, the class rep, please can you collect? Maybe you create maybe a Google form or sheets to collect the group names. So yeah, in a group you can be 4 or 5, max of 5, cannot be more than 5. 4 will be very good. Okay. So, and you know this, you're going to work till the end of the semester in group. So make sure you stay with people you can work with. All right.
Prof, is it applicable to the data.com?
Yes, data structure. Datacom Datacom is separate. Whatever group you create here, if you really want to carry up to Datacom, fine. But this group is uniquely for this course and for data structure. Okay, Datacom is another subject. So I don't know how the lecturer wants, and I'm not sure whether it's everybody that is taking data structure that is taking Datacom. But if you're migrating the group to the other side, it's still okay. No issues. But this grouping is for you to be able to do your lab assignments and project, and as well as data structure project. And I think I mentioned it for those who are taking data structure project. Once you pick the projects here, is the same project you're going to do in the data structure, or when you pick it in data structure, you're going to do the same project here. But if you're taking only one of the subject, then you at least do one project. If you're taking both, you do only one project. I hope you understand. But data communication, the lecturer, she's going to decide, because we are doing two different things. Okay, so she's going to decide whether she's going to give a project or not, or is it only assignment or whatsoever. But later we're going to combine the marks together. So marks from me and marks from her. So we're going to combine it to form the whole of this lab, ECIE 3101. I hope you understand what I mean. Is that clear? Hello, is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, madam.
Okay, all right. So one project only. Okay, if she wants you to form a group over there, I'm not too sure, but most probably she normally do individual quizzes or so. So this, because this is a different thing, so this one everybody is going to, I mean, have a kind of a group and of course answer one thing. All right, that's pretty okay about this. So we're going to swim properly into the section in our next week class, inshallah. So if there is no any other thing, Azima, you wanna add?
I think there's nothing. Pretty much
Okay.
as long as if you submit, that's okay. If it's even though your coding might not work properly or not, if it works, then there's another point lah. But if you have submit, you have tried your best, there will be some points lah. I will consider. Okay.
Yeah, try is part of the marking actually. Efforts that you have done is marking. Then your code works well is another point, as you mentioned. So everybody have to try. Everybody have to, and you don't need to copy code. We know all these things are online. There, you don't need to copy it. Just make sure you do your own work. That's a way for you to develop yourself. All right. So if there is no any question for this section, inshallah we'll end with Surah Al-Asr and to speak Kifara. And thank you very much to our demonstrator. And thank everyone for coming. Bismillah wal Asr.
Okay, I'll be stopping my streaming on YouTube. Okay.
Okay, can I take a screenshot as the attendance?
Yes, please do.
All right then. Thank you.
Okay, for the YouTube peeps, I'll see you guys in the next class, inshallah.
Wait, can I open up camera?